Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Welcome back to another episode of the Impactful Engineer Podcast. This is Jake Maxey. What we do here is we try to share the things that we believe will help you in your career as we have seen them help us in ours. Today's topic is delegation. And wait, before you tune out, because you've heard everything there is to hear about delegation, let's just ask yourself a question, just real quick. Do you really want to ascend the organization, get paid more, get more done, have greater success, and reach for more? Or are you addicted to doing everything yourself because it's in your control, it's comfortable, and there is no risk in it? Today we're tackling a topic that most engineers struggle with but rarely admit, and that is, of course, delegation. Why does it feel so damn hard? Is it really worth it? And most importantly, how can we master delegation and transform not just our career, but the entire team and the organization? If you answered that previous question no, then go ahead and shut the episode down and never share it with anyone. See you later. If the answer is maybe, yes, but, or basically anything other than no, I urge you to listen. Let's ask another question. What's the bigger risk to your career? Taking the time to teach someone to do something, or staying stuck doing it yourself forever? Here's the thing. Delegation isn't just about handing off tasks. It's about building people, multiplying your impact, and unlocking your own potential. By the end of the episode, you'll see why delegation isn't stupid. It's a game changer. I called this delegation is stupid because it sure feels like it sometimes, but it has a profound impact. What's the problem? Let's face it, we've all had thoughts about delegation, right? And that's why I'm calling it stupid, because the first thing we think about are the bad things about it and why we hate it. We've all had thoughts about delegation like, I could do the work in the time it takes to explain it. Nobody else can do it like I can. When I delegate, the result is terrible. Why bother? That sounds familiar? That's because these thoughts are not unique to you. They're a universal frustration. People have them all the time, including myself. But here's the kicker. The very reasons you avoid delegation are why you need it the most. Delegation feels stupid because it's an investment of time and trust up front. But the payoff, that's where the magic happens, of course. That's why I'm making this episode, because I want to share it with you, and I want to create some believers that delegation is worth investing time into. So we know kind of all the reasons delegation is stupid, or why we may not like it. And a great way to find the good in something is to take all the bad and then just flip it on its head. Invert your thinking on why it's stupid, and you'll figure out why it's smart. So why is delegation smart? Well, it frees you up for bigger things. Instead of getting stuck in the weeds, you can focus on tasks that grow your career or the business. So we go from, I'll do it myself because I'm the only one that knows how to do it. There's a lot of that doing that needs the doing. So I'll just do it myself, and it'll de-risk it, and I'll get it right every time. But what does that do? It does not free you up. So how do we free you up? Well, we have other people do that. Think about how much more could you achieve if you stopped thinking of delegation as a task and started seeing it as a long-term investment. Keep that in mind. Another way delegation is smart is it makes you a better coach. Delegating is about teaching and empowering, not micromanaging or abdicating responsibility. It's not something you just throw at somebody and say, hey, sink or swim. I hope you get it right. It builds a stronger team. Every time you delegate effectively, you help someone gain confidence, skills, and autonomy so that they can then return the favor and do that in the future as well. If we only had a company where people did whatever they were comfortable with only, never delegated anything, and just did the same stuff over and over again, trying to do more and more of the same stuff in the same time over and over again, there would be no growth. There would just simply be more of the same work leaving the doors. Oh, but wouldn't you be able to make more money that way for the business? For a short time, sure. And let's say that that specialty or that thing that you do over and over and over again dries up. What are you going to do? Think about how when you delegate and train and multiply yourself throughout the organization, and you do that in such a way that when others pick up diversity in the work, that they can master that and then teach that to others as well, that you have this diversification of your resource pool and ability technically to tackle various amounts of work, but also various types of work. It makes for a very strong and resilient company. Have you ever stopped to think that by not delegating, you're robbing someone else of the opportunity to grow? So this kind of steps into talent retention as well. If you never work with someone else to teach them what you know, because you're the best, and give them the opportunity to become the best themselves, why are they there? You might keep the people that have no care in the world about where they work. They just want to go and do some stuff and have a paycheck. But you'll never capture the true talent of the people that are inspired to work and continuously learn and grow. Another reason delegation is smart is it creates a ripple effect, like I've talked about before. A well-delegated task doesn't just get done, it builds momentum throughout the organization. So you can see why this concept of delegation is smart. So think of delegation as a high yield investment, and who wouldn't want that? The time you put into training someone now pays dividends in the future, of course. So how do we do it? Well, this is my recommendation. So if we're not thinking about delegation as just handing off tasks, we're thinking about it as an investment in others to grow. Here's how I think you should do it. Or this is how I've done it, and I've seen great results from it. You do whatever you want. I would say start small. Don't delegate high-stakes projects right away. Pick manageable tasks where failure isn't catastrophic. So the idea here is to build wins, to build momentum, to build confidence, to build skills over time. Allow the space to struggle and have multiple iterations back and forth, because nobody's going to do something perfect the first time, depending on their skill level and how much risk you're putting into this delegation and how aligned you are in the work and the skills needed to complete the work. But if you're starting with someone very green and you have a deadline that's very tight and it takes some specialized skills to get this design done or the task done, and you give a vague delegation because you think all you need to do is tell them the outcome that is desired and then they'll get you there, that's going to fall on its face completely and fail miserably. You'll be upset because it didn't get done. The client will be upset. The person that you delegated this to is going to be losing their confidence. No winning has occurred in that situation. They won't want future delegations. They'll think that this career isn't right for them. You're basically setting that up for complete failure. So start small and build the wins and manage this appropriately. Number 2, I would say use inverted thinking, which when I heard this concept, I just loved it. So I do it with pretty much everything now. So in this context, instead of focusing on why someone can't do the task, think about how they can with the right support and putting them in the right position. So your past delegations have probably ended with, oh my gosh, nothing even close to what I said to do was done. Why wouldn't they just inherently know and think to do these things? Because why should I have to say these things just to get them done? That's completely irrational. Like, anyone with a brain would know to do X, Y, and Z. Like, how could this Go ahead, list all that out. Then do the things that you know need to be done to make it the reverse of that, to make it the opposite. Usually people fail to do this inherently if I don't tell them. Well, then tell them, right? So kind of you need to think of all the failure modes and then flip them and give the people what they need to know to get it right. The third thing is give it time. Delegation isn't an instantaneous process. Okay, there's teaching, coaching, reviewing involved in the process, and that takes time. That takes iterations. No one's going to get it perfect right out of the gate unless that skill set is already honed within them and they can return something that you need right away. Fourth thing is follow through. So review the work, give feedback, and repeat. Delegation is a loop, not a one-time event. All right? So 3 and 4 kind of go together. Give it time and follow through. The follow-through is perhaps the most important part of delegation. Do not give up. Follow through, even if you have to tell them 2, 3, 4 times. Don't use the fact that they can't get it right to say that delegation is stupid and that you shouldn't ever do it. Use the fact that they can't get it right after 5 times to tell you something about the skill level and the intelligence of this person and whether you should continue to work with them or have them on the team, not to stop delegating. Number 5, focus on rationale. Also one of my favorites. That's why it made the list, of course. Teach why something is done a certain way, not just how. Do not just think that they're going to pick it up through osmosis on the why something is done a certain way. You didn't do it that way. They're certainly not going to do it that way. Teach them why. Talk with them about why. Teach them how to use logic and reasoning to build a rationale to approach any problem that you give them. Then you can coach them on the rationale that they use, the foundation of how they output their work, not the output themselves, not the output itself. Don't teach to the outcome. Teach how to get and why you get to the outcome. If you coach on rationale, you'll see a big turnaround on outcomes. Finally, I would say, provide constructive feedback. Critique their work. Never blame or insult. Instead, focus on the work with a good critique and offer actionable steps for improvement. Never let something out like, how could you? What were you thinking? Is this really, how could you think that this is really the right path? All these things are wasteful and useless. So don't blame or insult people. Just critique the work. And if it fails over and over and over again through your critique, you're absolutely not going to get anywhere with blaming and insulting. Just use the evidence you have in front of you, which is the result of the work, coach to the rationale, and critique for improvement. If that doesn't work, and you've given it enough time, and you've followed through, you started small, and you've tried to set them up for success, and it doesn't happen, then you can think about what is the next step. Not that delegation doesn't work, it's that there might be something we need to do with this person elsewhere in the company. All right, so how do we overcome common delegation pitfalls? In my experience, here's where most people get stuck. Fear of bad outcomes. So it's true, delegation can lead to mistakes, but mistakes are a part of learning. All right, and this is on both sides. So make sure you're aware that there's a fear of bad outcomes. Teach the other person that quickly making mistakes, but having a rationale behind it so that you can fix the rationale to lessen the mistakes, is of the utmost important thing to be completely transparent with, not to hide or to take forever to get the thing done because you don't want to make the mistake. There's a balance, and there's coaching involved in this. Make the mistakes, train to the mistakes, get over the mistakes. The second one is perfectionism. So your way isn't the only way. Often it's not even the best way. And I know that's hard for us to grasp, and that's hard for us to accept, but you can't be forcing your perfectionism on this person. You're going to make them not want to work for you, and the pain of getting to your perfection level is going to make it not worth taking assignments from you. Trust me on this. The last one is ego. Delegation feels like losing control, but the truth is, real control comes from enabling others to succeed. If you needed it done your way and only your way, then you would do it yourself, and you would be stuck doing the same things yourself over and over again and never freeing yourself up to do other, more high-value things that only you have the skill to do, right? At the time, anyway. So there's levels to this. Remove the feeling that you're losing control for the benefit of allowing others to step up and do it their way with the same outcome and the same result. So let's reframe delegation. It's not stealing time from your productive, quote-unquote, hours. It's an investment in your team, your career, and quite honestly, your sanity. So you're not stealing time, you're investing time. So there's this graph that I stole from some sort of project management teaching online course thing that I can't remember the name of right now. But you can't see it because this is an audio-only podcast. I don't have a YouTube up. But it's basically telling you that the time it takes you to delegate something as you do more delegating will go down. The skill of the person that you're delegating to, the more you delegate, will go up. And at a certain point, we cross over the threshold of how much time it takes you to do the delegation and what you get back as the result. And it starts to tip in your favor and the organization's favor. And so I guess really the only thing that I want to get across with this is that it will suck at first. You will have to take more time to delegate the thing than it would take you just to do it, but it will pan out if you stick with it. So you have someone, right, that is green, that someday is going to be in your position, or someday is going to have the chance to delegate things on their own and help somebody else rise up. So your job is to delegate with this person so that they can move from no skill, no confidence, and no ability to skill, confidence, and ability to take direction and produce the desired outcome, all the way to skill, confidence, and ability to train someone else without your supervision to take a task and turn it into the desired outcome. And this is a constantly moving thing. And if we don't do it, we create bottlenecks in our company, because eventually the tasks that need doing become so great and in so much quantity that you can't keep up. So why is delegation essential for engineers? Well, I hope we've picked up on it just a little bit, but as engineers, we pride ourselves on precision and problem solving, but here's the irony. If we become the bottleneck, we miss opportunities for growth, blind spots we can't see, and the chance to build a team that multiplies our impact. Because if we're always doing the doing that needs the doing, we can't lift our heads up and see all the other things that actually drive huge exponential growth in the company, while we're stuck in the weeds producing just more of the same. The best engineers and leaders, and hopefully the people listening to this show, don't just solve problems. They create systems and teams that solves problems without them. So, delegation isn't just a tool, it's a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice, so start practicing. The key is to approach it with a growth mindset. Every time you delegate, you get better at it. Every time your team succeeds, they get stronger. Every time you invest in delegation, you create value that compounds over time. So, some closing thoughts here. Is delegation stupid? Here's your challenge. Pick one task this week to delegate, and you can start at any point in your career, believe it or not. And you should, because as we've outlined, getting good at this is paramount. So start small, follow the steps, and watch the ripple effect of your work spread to those around you. So like I said, pick one task and get started. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember, your impact isn't just what you do, it's what you enable others to do.